Welcome to the podcast, hablemos de lo nuevo. 40Gs, G's que pasa en el terreno. Vienen jugadores y se van, traiga lo nuevo. A huevo. Doesn't matter where you from, Salvador, Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua. Todo mi latino, come and listen for an hour. TikTok, que traemos lo que quiere. Todo lo que pasa dentro y fuera de las redes. Really? You don't know what it is. Reportamos con la lupa what we see at the digs. En las buenas y en las malas yo diré la verdad. Si cometen un error o tienen habilidad, la calidad del rival cuando viene a jugar. Facts. Yo no me muerdo la lengua. Got love for the crest in the city I came from. Los campeones de campeones y con copas mi race. No empezamos el programa, soy la voz de LA One. Soy la voz de LA One. Love. Yeah.
Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast made with love for all you LA Galaxy fans, wherever you may be, and all you La Cuna Galaxians. Thank you so much for hanging with us today and always. We truly appreciate it. As always, this podcast, like I said, is made with love, and I'm Rob Jalon. You can find my written work at Last Word on Sports, and you can find me on the socials at El Escudero de LA. Today, we're going to be previewing the Galaxy's first away game of the season, an intense Cali Clasico against their old rival, the San Jose Earthquakes, on Saturday, March 2nd. Former Galaxy and current Earthquakes striker Preston Judd will be joining us to help us preview that match and help us celebrate our 1-year anniversary pod. And before we get to all that, before we bring you Preston Judd, all you juggalos out there must be excited. Let me bring you back my co-host, the one and only ride or die G and homie, El Gitano Perdido, Ananda Kirana, back from overseas. Papa, how's that jet lag treating you?
I'll tell you in a little bit, Papa. I'll tell you in a couple hours. But so far, so good.
Like ask me in a month.
Exactly. Kind of like ask you in a month. But no, it's, jet setting. It is what it is, but happy to be back. Happy to be back in the City of Angels. And, excited to do this pod, man. Like we've, really, really excited to talk to Preston. It's a big game this weekend. As you've said to me a few times, you're a Cali Clasico guy. You're not an El Clasico guy. You're a Cali Clasico guy, 100%. Against the Smurfs. And yeah, man, totally agree. So should be good. And by the way, so we already have our first comment of the day. Shout out Pinchy. He says he hope he brought souvenirs back. Bro, I definitely got some souvenirs. Yeah, let's when we do our LCM hangout at the Galaxy game, how about that? I'll hand out the tchotchkes at that point. How about that, Pinchy?
I can't wait to see what he brought us, Pinchy. Good looks. Thanks for hanging with us today. Yeah, man.
But
Yeah.
Robert, I wanted to say, so like I was trying to listen to the playback of the last one because you know me, I'm like a producer, like audio technical guy, right? I want to make sure everything is good with the pod. I know you hate listening to yourself on the pod, but I was listening to it back and I did housekeeping, but I forgot to mention one thing, so I'm gonna do that now before I forget and hand it back to you to do the shout outs. So first, obviously housekeeping. You guys can always follow Block Me or Stalk Me at Cuna Galaxiana. And you can always find us. Now we have a YouTube, obviously. So if you guys haven't yet, please do subscribe and turn on those notifications. Like when we come on live, you'll get those as well. And of course, if you can, go ahead and hit up those likes and share this video as well. It would really, really help us a lot in growing this channel. And of course, you can find us on socials at La Cuna Galaxiana. Pretty easy tag there. And yeah, Robert, the one thing I forgot to do, and this is the first time I've ever forgotten to do this in 1 year of doing the show, which is antes de olvidarme, como siempre.
Well, it is the anniversary.
Exactly. So I got to do it for the one time. So buenos días, tardes o noches y bienvenidos a otro capítulo de la Cuna Galaxiana. It's the live one. We've been doing these lives. Rob and I are feeling it. We feel the vibe with the chat. So yeah, man, let's get to those shout outs before we welcome Preston Judd.
Well, really quick before we welcome Preston and do these shout outs. I just want to say, happy anniversary to you, co-host. You know, we've it's been a wacky ride in the year. We've learned a lot. We've tried a couple things, and you guys have always been great with telling us, hey, we like this, we don't like this. And you know what? I just want to say thank you so much and I'm speaking to you right now, Ananda. Thank you so much for putting up with me and all my shenanigans. You see how he rolls his eyes? Look, I'm trying to say something nice and he's rolling his eyes.
No. You know what? Because I was gonna say, well, one thing is, well, thank you. Likewise, I mean, it's been a fun ride, right? It's been a crazy ride. I've told you the best part of this ride has been meeting the community, and that's the Galaxy community is real. I've felt it the last year for sure as I've gotten closer and closer to all these different groups, all different sub communities out there. It's been awesome. But you know what else is today, Robert? And I know you didn't realize it, so that's why I kind of smirked and grinned a little bit. Today's my 21st birthday, actually. So today is my birthday officially. My 21st birthday. No, it is my birthday.
No, you're lying. You're lying.
No, it is my birthday. No.
Hey, well, let everyone please join me in wishing Anandita Kirana a very happy 21st birthday. Let's go ahead and congratulate him. When you guys see him, buy him a drink, buy him a shot. Make sure that he goes.
I just turned 21, so yeah, go ahead and buy me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we know, and the Prophet Alex, friend of the show, is in the chat right now. And you know what? When he turns 21, we're gonna take him out too. You just turned 21. And so, we're gonna have to take you out. Thank you so much for everybody that's in the chat. Thank you, Edwin, and thank you, Alvaro, and thank you, Melvin, for just being with us and the good wishes.
Thank you, Melvin.
And tidings of good joy. Man, we're gonna do something big for Ananda. Don't y'all worry. And we're gonna blow it up big. Like I said, I mean, it's gonna be memorable, just like this first anniversary show is, because we got Preston Judd with us. You know what? But before we get to him, we do have a couple shout outs to go through. Like Ananda said, we are on all the socials on YouTube. You guys can find us on all the socials at Cuna Galaxiana on YouTube. Please subscribe. Like I said, it helps us out immensely. Go ahead and smash that subscribe. Is that what the kids say? Smash the button.
Yeah, smash that like. Yeah,
exactly. YouTube.com/@Cuna Galaxiana. And of course, we'll bring you our live match reaction to the Cali Clasico on Sunday at 7 p.m. And I believe that's right before the Nag Boys go on at 8 p.m. Somebody please fact check me on that. But please consider us a little lead in to the Nag Boys. And of course, everybody that's in the chat, as always, tell us what city you're repping the Galaxy real hard in. We would love to know. Of course, I'm in Glendale. Ananda's back in Ontario. Is that the city?
Ontario.
Yeah. Ontario. So Ananda's back.
Shout out Bo, by the way. I know you're here, dog. Don't worry. We'll get Preston's supposed to be on in about 20 minutes. So you just hang tight. We will get there. You just have to deal with us goofballs for about 17 minutes. So
hey, 17 more minutes and we got Preston. Well, like I said, we have a live match reaction for the Cali Clasico. And you know what? Before we go any further, let's bring it back and be a little serious for a moment. There's another call to arms for help from the Galaxy community. On Instagram, at PeaceLock70 is seeking help for his dad, Cesar, who has refractory AML. LA Galaxy on Film or Galaxy on Film tagged a bunch of us, and it's a pleasure to help get the word out and help people in need. So LA Galaxy community, you know what to do. You're always good about this, so get out there and help. That's the only thing we can do, and send those good vibes. And then we have First Fridays coming up. Ananda, Lars is doing their First Fridays at Boulevard Gastropub in Compton. That event is all ages and open to all Galaxy fans. Gastropub is run by a hardcore G, I'm told. So go ahead and support them. Absolution Brew will host another spot where it's rich in Galaxydom. They'll be hosting a photo and art gallery featuring members of the G community on 310. Exhibitors will be showcasing their pieces and selling prints and having a special pop-up shop. We've had a couple of those people that are going to be showing off their prints there on the show. Grainy Mayo, and then Daniela Donata is going to be there. That's at Baby G's 96. LA Galaxy on film, who we just mentioned here. Luis Vela Arte, Oscar Rodriguez Zapata, and Alyssa Diaz, who, you always see her in 121 taking pictures of Victoria Block. And of course, the pop-up shop is by the Ñaños at 12 Threads. If you haven't copped that anorak jacket, you are messing up. Go ahead and get that. Speaking of Absolution Brew, they'll be doing a watch party on Saturday for the Cali Clasico, aka LA versus San Jose. Look up their socials for more info. The homie Hector and the IEGs will be hosting a watch party at the Common Ground Public House. This is a family and pet-friendly event, and join them for raffles and giveaways. Compton_OGs is going to be taking you back to Boulevard Gastropub this weekend as they host a watch party for the Cali Clasico as well on Saturday. So you have a couple of different options for watch parties, and I know that probably a bunch more will pop up between here and game day. We've congratulated these guys a couple times, but you know what? One more is never enough. Congratulations to the Galaxy Outlaws, who celebrated their 5-year anniversary in style at the home opener. They were presented with a plaque by none other than Senior Vice President of Soccer and Business Operations and Business Development of the LA Galaxy, Tom Braun, and Chief Creative Officer Will Misselbrook. Congratulations to you guys. I mean, it's no cap to say that you guys are a huge part of the community. You guys put on amazing events. I mean, we still talk about how much fun we had at the foot golf tournament. I might still be sore from it, but we had an amazing time. So congratulations to you guys. You get to see all of these cats right here with Tom Braun and Will Misselbrook. And you know what? This is one of those things that I don't think would have happened last year, to be honest, under previous regime or previous leadership. And this is just one of those things that we can be like, hey, this is a beautiful step in the right direction. Shout out to LA Galaxy Fan Talk for sending us some slaps. Much appreciated. Now, Nana, I'm supposed to share some of these with you. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna make it to your hand though. Nah, I'm just playing. It is your birthday, so now I have a Christmas present for you, or a birthday present for you.
That tchotchke.
Yeah, that tchotchke. Speaking of LA Galaxy Fan Talk, they clipped or retweeted a really good video where Hercules Gomez and Katia Castorena were talking about the festivities on the 25th, and I really enjoyed their comments. I got to call that out too when it's good and when it's bad. So yeah. Oh,
en las buenas and las malas.
Thank you, wifey, for saying happy anniversary. Oh, I love you.
So, hey, by the way, we gotta, as you're doing the shout outs, we gotta just shout out where the people are repping from, right? So shout out Long Beach,
Moore Park. Yes,
shout out the 805.
Big Vegas,
baby Vegas.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for listening wherever you're listening from. It's 1 year, and we have some people in Vegas, we have some people in Long Beach, we have some people in Moore Park. Thank you guys so much for listening. Well, like I was saying about Herc and Katia, they were basically saying, like what everybody said, they hadn't seen the stadium rocking and rolling like that for a little while. But what I really liked about this comment was them pointing out the difference between the atmospheres and at both LA clubs when Messi and Inter Miami came to town. They mentioned that at BMO there was a lot of pink jerseys and a lot of Messi and a lot of pictures. At the Galaxy, they said they were pleasantly surprised to see that Inter Miami and Messi came out, and there was a chorus of boos. And you know what? That's just the way Galaxy fans roll. If you're not wearing the badge, if you're not wearing the crest, boo to you, and keep it moving. And of course we saw that we did a good job of getting under Inter Miami's skin, and the boys did too, because like everybody said, that should have been a Galaxy win. Well, since we're calling out, the amazing atmosphere, which we touched on last show, I also want to go ahead and shout out the supporters groups for their incredible display. I really liked V Block for what they put together, the saying that they had on here, en las buenas te quiero, en las malas te amo, which means in the good times I like you, in the bad times I love you. And that's the way it's got to be, in the good times and in the bad times, again, repping that crest and repping it proud. There will be good times, there will be bad times. fortunately, right now, Galaxy fans, there's a bunch of optimism, and it seems like there's a good time about to come back to the dig. So shout out to V Block, shout out to 138 and Lars for, like I said, this incredible display. Photo credit on this picture here of V Block goes out to Mike Ortiz __. And this next one is one that I hope that the Galaxy do every season at least once, hopefully every game. But shout out to Jesus Morales, aka at Juixxe. I don't know how to pronounce that. And the Galaxy, this guy pulled up and he did one of those videos that I love where that just fill your heart. He pulled up to the Home Depot and asked the senoras that hang around looking for day labor who wanted to go to a soccer game, who was a big soccer fan. And, one of the guys was like, oh, he's a big soccer fan, and showed it to his homie. And they were like, hey, do you want to go to a soccer game? And they took him to a VIP experience at the LA Galaxy versus Inter Miami at the Digs last Sunday. And in this video, you see this gentleman he can't believe his eyes. Like, it's just so amazing to him. They gave him a jersey, like I said, he was in VIP. They were eating that good buffet food right there. Not content, Jesus Morales then hooked the guy up with $500 at the end of the day because, he did take a day of his work. So he gave him $500 to end the day. And again, this is the kind of stuff that I love to see the club get involved with. Amazing work to them. Like I said, when they hit it out of the park, we say it. When they don't, we say it too. And I think this is an example of hitting it out of the park. And Ananda, did you get to see this one, man?
I saw it. Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably share it out, Rob, on our Cuna Galaxiana Instagram, and then we'll just share it out as a story, and so you guys can see it. It's really, really good. Yeah, it goes to the heart for sure. Shoots straight at the heart, and yeah, I like those videos as well. So good on you, Galaxy.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, this is just part of like the incredible weekend, and again, I don't think this happens if it's like a year ago, right? I think they don't take the time to do something like this. And I spoke about V Block's tifo, and I lightly mentioned Lars, but I think it goes to the heart of what their tifo is talking about, which is from the ashes a new fire arises, and just like that way to move differently, like to create something good and create something new, you need to kind of like burn the old thing down and just turn the page. And I feel like this is kind of like representative of that, and these actions are representative of that. So shout out to the Galaxy, and again, shout out to the supporters for their tifos. Shout out to Hermanos Unidos as well. We see you out there representing the Galaxy. They released an amazing video, and they also are doing charitable work out in their communities. So that's even more fire than the video they dropped. But yeah, go ahead and check them out on Instagram. They have a really, really cool video right now. If you're a Galaxy fan, you're really going to resonate with you. So go ahead and check that one out. 14-year-old Mathis Albert, who is right now playing for LA Galaxy 2. This guy's going off right now. So far this year, 23 goals in all competitions, 8 assists in all competitions. He's been called into preseason with LA Galaxy 2. He made his debut with Galaxy 2 against FC Nordjylland. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Had that problem last time we spoke about this. And he scored his first professional goal for Galaxy 2 the other day too. Hey, that's in Midvale, Utah. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you so much for being here with us on our 1-year anniversary show. We can't thank you enough for listening and tuning in. So Mathis Albert, guys, watch this cat. He's 14. Yeah. He's already kind of lining up with Galaxy 2, and I don't think it's long before we see him with the first team. He has the chops, and he's showing it consistently. We have a couple more things, and then we'll bring you the reason you guys are all really here, which is Preston Judd. But you know what? If you are wondering about the different competitions here in the United States, in 2025, there's that Club World Cup. According to Felipe Cardenas, FIFA confirmed that the host country, which is the U.S., is going to receive an extra slot. So that means CONCACAF will have 5 spots in Ananda. But we don't know how they're going to get the slot yet, like who they're going to give that extra spot to. Will it be the 2024 MLS Cup winner or the last League's Cup winner? right now, pretty much the only path for the Galaxy to participate is winning the cup, man. Winning the whole shebang. So if they want to be in the Club World Cup, they got to win MLS Cup, and that's not even a certainty, but it's a good start.
Ask me in a month, Robert. Ask me in a month.
Yeah, ask me in a month, right? Let's see where we are in a month, right? Seattle is the only team to qualify thus far. A couple of pieces of team news before we get to Preston. Shout out to Edwin Cerrillo for winning his first ever defending the badge. Yay! The young Texan, now Angelino, recorded 33 passes, 89% pass accuracy, 3 clearances, 2 blocks, 1 tackle, and most importantly, he stood up to the Messi, Busquets, Alba cabal out there in Miami. So good on you, Edwin. Real tough, man. Like Ananda has spoken about a couple times. He's high on that Cerrillo train, and you know what? If he keeps playing like this, we can go ahead and take our time with Gaston and bring him back slowly and make sure he's 100. For defending the badge, he received 62% of the votes. So shout out to everybody that voted for defending the badge and everyone that voted for him. Corner of the Galaxy, the Podfather, confirmed he's under Galaxy contract until 2028. That's up to a 4-year extension, so 2 years and 2 years in options. So you know what? It looks like you're going to be on that Cerrillo train for a while.
Deserving.
So you want me to? Yeah, for sure.
No, absolutely deserving. And by the way, this picture I thought was clean. I saw Profe Alex post this as well, and I saw it fly around X. But this picture is clean, man. It's it's a good momentum or good moment for him in his career, I think. And I'm excited to see this kid play, man. Like I said, I think he's got a big year ahead of him. What's great too is that that Mark and Gaston are on the older side in terms of age, so it's great. We can just plug Cerrillo in there and not have him play if they don't need to play 34. Just slot one.
Wait a sec. Did you call Mark old or mature?
He's mature.
Isn't he like 28, dog? I thought
he was 30. I thought he was almost 30, like 29, 30.
Man. Hey, so somebody in the chat fact check us. I could have sworn Mark was only 28, but I could be wrong.
He's got a lot of miles. He's got a lot of. Yeah, he's like
28.
Diego,
yeah, he's 28.
He's got a lot of miles on those legs, though. I mean, at least we can alternate, like I said, and like I said too.
They're savvy veterans, is what you want to mean. In years, they're not old. In MLS years, they're old because they've been in the league for a while. Like you said, they have some miles on their legs.
Technically, Mark would be going into his prime, but yes, he has been in the league for a long time. I mean, Rob, he won the cup with Toronto 7 years ago now when he was a youngin.
Look, Mark is going through enough right now. All right, with what happened on Sunday and that bogus yellow card. All right, bro. So you know what? Just ease up on him. He's 28. All right, and I'm pretty sure Gaston's only like 30 at most too. And I don't even think he's 30. But again, ease up on these cats. Ease up on Diego too, because I think he's only like 27 or 28. But anyway, I'm gonna be the defender of these cats today because Ananda's coming out swinging with violence. But speaking of Mark,
it's that midlife crisis that's hitting me, Rob. That's what it is. It's that it's my birthday. It's exactly what it is.
Oh man, go out and get a Ferrari or something, bro. Jesus, check that. All right. Well, we are speaking about Mark, and we did mention that yellow card. The Galaxy have officially appealed his second yellow card given during the home opener versus Inter Miami. A 3-person independent review panel made up of a U.S. soccer rep, a Canadian soccer rep, and an independent rep nominated by pro reps will now decide his fate. So pro ref, not sure if they will really represent somebody or send somebody to represent since they're on strike. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work. But that's really the way it goes down. I got an email from MLS earlier today giving me the, disciplinary decisions from them. But, of course, Marks wasn't in there because they won't decide his fate. That's going to be the 3-person independent review panel. So, but I did post today about some chisme because this man, Sergio Busquets, goes on and he pretty much admitted, Mark shouldn't have gotten that yellow. and furthermore, that it did influence what happened on the field. So I think that's kind of like the worst kept secret there. But when you have the person who supposedly got fouled and says like, hey, it's not a foul, you know what it is. Do the right thing, rescind Mark Delgado's yellow card, free Mark Delgado, and you know what? Without further ado, we're gonna free Preston Judd. So Preston Judd, you guys know him, you guys love him. He was originally selected 35th overall in the 2021 MLS Super Draft by the Galaxy and later signed a first-team contract with the club on April 4th, 2022. He played for Los Dos, or Galaxy 2, 57 times and scored 30 goals and supplied 7 assists, regularly placing him among the league leaders and ties him with Ariel Lassiter for most regular season goals in LA Galaxy 2 history. He appeared 17 times for the Galaxy in 2023 and scored 3 goals while notching 2 assists. But more importantly, like this picture shows, he was always around to show the fans some love and always played for the shirt. Please welcome to the show the Lord of Las Vegas, former Galaxy and current San Jose Earthquake striker, Preston Judd. Preston, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for sitting with us ahead of an emotional Cali Clasico week. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So this is the Cali Clasico week. Like I said, Ananda did mention a couple moments back that I'm a Cali Clasico guy over an El Tráfico guy. For you, which one, because I know you came up in Galaxy fandom, which one are you a fan of more, the Cali Clasico or the El Tráfico?
I would say the Cali Clasico. I mean, it has more history, has more experience, more memories. So I think just building on top of that. I mean, LAFC's still new. We don't know what direction they're going in. So I think there's just more history with the Earthquakes and the Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some classic games. Of course, there was the miracle at Buckshaw. There was the comeback that the Earthquakes had in MLS Cup over the Galaxy, and so there's been a bunch of good memories. Of course, you probably have a bunch of good memories as well. But before I go any further, I want to say congrats on your debut for the Earthquakes last weekend. You came out on the 66th minute. You haven't played a competitive match or at least a league match in 4 months. Especially as Galaxy didn't make the playoffs last year. What was it like being back out there for the first time in so long?
It was actually funny because we opened up with at Dallas last year with the Galaxy. So just running that back this year is pretty funny. But it's good to be back. I feel probably the best I've ever felt. I'm ready for the season. Looking forward to do big things.
Well, let me tell you, I'm one of those wear my heart on my sleeve kind of guys, and I'm gonna just be 100. I missed you already. You resonated with Galaxy fans, and like I said, you always had time for them. I have a couple of good shots of you just hanging out and talking to Galaxy fans. But now that you're with the new team and new teammates. Did they, bust an initiation on you or anything like that? One of those like, hey, you have to sing in front of everybody, or you have to like, do a monologue or anything like that?
No, surprisingly, no. Not with me. They didn't do anything. I think we did it with the rookies, but luckily I didn't get involved in that.
What would you have sang if you had to bust one out?
Off the top of my head, that you put me on the spot, I would say "Don't Stop Believing" right now. I mean, that just
there we go.
Hey, that's a good
song
one,
in my head. So I feel like it's a good song to sing.
Oh no, that's a classic right there, man. If you're gonna go karaoke, you don't know what to do, that's the one.
Right there.
Yo, Ananda, I know you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Preston, it's Ananda. Nice to meet you, man. So hey, this weekend you're playing your first home game and for your new team. It's going to be an intense game, as you know. You've played Cali Clasicos before, just on the other side. What are you expecting out of the match?
I think it's going to be another heated match. I mean, I know Galaxy's coming off a late. They should have won that game, and we should have drew a point in Dallas. So I think two teams that want to win in this game, and obviously with the heated rivalry, I think it's going to be a fun one. I really do.
Yeah, it should be a fun one.
they're always a good time, and this will be the first time a Cali Clasico is ever played for a home opener for Los Angeles or for San Jose. Of course, it's always tough to go to a rival. For example, it took me a minute to accept Phil Jackson as Lakers coach, because he had beat the Lakers in the finals before. On your arrival, Earthquakes general manager Chris Light said, Preston is a physical and energetic forward with the ability to finish. He has worked hard over the years to earn his place in Major League Soccer and will be an asset to our front line. What has the reception been like from the San Jose fans? I know there's been a couple times where players have come to Los Angeles and it's been like, oh no, like we don't like that or whatever. But what was that like for you coming from Los Angeles to San Jose, the reception?
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. I haven't really seen any like a lot of the fans because we haven't had a home game yet. In preseason, we didn't play at home in front of the fans, so I'm looking forward to playing in front of the fans. And I mean, just like you, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And right now, growing up, my heart was with the Galaxy and my heart's with the Earthquakes. So I'm ready to go to war against my old team. I love the Galaxy. I always have a special place in my heart, but I'm ready to go to war now.
Woo! All right. Well, you guys heard it. Preston is ready to go all out in the Cali Clasico, which I kind of was thinking about this earlier today. If you go ahead and score in this, and this would be my worst nightmare, honestly, if you scored the winner in the 94th minute against the Galaxy. Can you reveal to us, are you celebrating or not?
It's going to be on the
fifth, Robert.
On the fly. Okay. All right. Well, it's because we wear our heart on our sleeve. It's gonna be whatever you're feeling at the moment, right? So you've just been up there a couple of months, probably what, like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
How are you settling in? Have you found any good places to eat and stuff like that? I'm a hungry lad myself, so that's the first thing I look for, the good places to eat. So what are you thinking about San Jose so far?
Yeah, honestly, I've been just trying to settle in, find a place. I just found a place, just moved in this last week.
Congrats.
So I've been really focused on that for the past few months and just getting acclimated with the squad and making sure I'm showing my face in the training rounds and just being there. So I haven't really focused on restaurants. I'm looking forward to now that I have a place. I'm looking forward that I have a place in an area to explore the local restaurants around me. But I'll get back to you on that once I found some good spots here.
Yeah, nice. we've been using the mantra a lot on this year so far. Ask me in a month, so maybe I'll ask you in a month and see what you've gotten into.
Well, Rob was a Bay Area guy, Preston, so maybe he might recommend you a few spots here and there around the San Francisco Greater Bay Area.
I was there for 12 years, and I actually did
worked
a couple
in the service industry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I managed a couple restaurants out there, and I also did a couple stories with the Earthquakes way back when. So shout out to Earthquakes Comms, all good people. But now I got to ask you, because you were here in Los Angeles for a while, what do you miss most about LA? Is it the food, the weather, the culture?
Man. I mean, the weather, ever since I've been here, the weather's been, I think it's been similar in LA though. It's been a lot of rain lately.
Right.
Which hasn't been too much fun. But honestly, I've been just trying to live in the present, so try not to think about the past. Not trying to miss anything. I think I've had a lot going on in my personal life in the last year, 2 years. So just focusing on the present, and where I'm at right now is where I'm at. Getting through that.
Nah, no time like the present. No, I dig it, man.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, speaking of the present, Preston, obviously you're in a different locker room now. How is the locker room? Like, how are you getting acclimated to the locker room? What are the differences between the locker room now and what it was with the Galaxy? Sort of what's the approach like, and what are the characters like?
Yeah, I think so far here it's been like a family already. I think I felt really welcomed in the squad. I've made a lot of good friends already. And I mean, our team's willing to die for each other. We're like a brotherhood, and I think that's huge for us. I know we talk about it a lot. LA Galaxy, we had a lot of money. We had a lot of players that we could buy that Earthquakes can't buy. So we have to have that different set off of this go into war mentality, and we're brotherhood, and no matter what, we're gonna win together, lose together, we're gonna die together. I think that's a big difference that maybe we were kind of lacking last year with the Galaxy.
Mm. That's actually an interesting insight, because I was gonna ask you a little bit about last year. Last year was difficult. Everyone knows it. I mean, the Galaxy have been at the pinnacle of MLS for so long that those kind of years are alarming. There was the fan boycott, which I personally asked you about in one of those press conferences, and I believe you said when they came back, first of all, it was great having the fans back, changed the whole atmosphere. What do you think was like the main issue or problem last year? Was it injuries? Was it like you said, right now you're in this locker room where it feels like a brotherhood and people are trying to die for each other? Was it that? Or was it just something unknown, or you can't really put your finger on?
I mean, it's easy to look back now and look what happened, but at the end of the day, like no matter what culture you're in, when you're losing, you're tying games, you're not winning games, it's hard to keep a team together. It's hard to have that chemistry, to have that brotherhood, because you're losing games. We're all competitors. We all want to win every game you go out there. So, I mean, you're gonna start fighting. You're gonna start blaming others, blaming yourself. It's hard to be around. Nobody likes being in a losing locker room. I think that's just the first part. I mean, we got a lot of unlucky results last year.
Right.
If some of those were to flip, maybe we would have had a different experience. But I think I wouldn't say anything specific. I just think we just got too in our own heads on losing the games. Nobody likes to lose.
Yeah. Nah, definitely. Fans included, and that's part of the reason that they did what they did. But you know what? Despite that, like I mentioned, so many Galaxy fans were upset that you left. Were like, no, not Preston, right? Because like I said earlier, you were always there for the fans, gave them time, and you mentioned it. You were passionate about the Galaxy, and now you're passionate about the Earthquakes. You're always playing hard. So how did this entire move go down? I'm really dying to know, because I like I said, I wish you weren't gone. It's weird to see you in that San Jose shirt for me.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to get into all the details. I don't think I'm even allowed to get into any of the details. But long story short, I got a call one day. Will, he just called me up one day, said you're going to the Earthquakes. So I mean, I love Will, and I think that he's going to put Galaxy in a really good place moving forward. And I really admire what he's doing with that club. I think he's going to be a huge difference maker for the future. And he's already came and put his foot down, and he's shown that he's not messing around. So I think that's huge for the Galaxy. But and no, like, I have no hard feelings at all. And like, it's probably for my playing situation a better move for me. I'm going to get a lot more opportunity, um, a lot more time to show what I can really do. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So I was gonna sorry, Robert. So yeah, Preston. I think just one last thing, because I know we're looking back a lot. I know you want to move forward and talk about the present, which we'll in a second. But when you look back at your whole career at the Galaxy, it could be something on the pitch or off the pitch. What was your favorite moment? I think I know Rob and I have one for sure that was on the pitch, but sometimes there's stuff that happens off the pitch, maybe in the locker room, or like a funny story that it's like, oh man, that was like a really, really good moment for my time at the Galaxy.
No, yeah, it's got to be my header versus Kansas City.
Hey, that's
ours too. That's ours too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's insane pass from Ricky, and it was a fun header. And at that point I had to score, because about 5 minutes previous I had the goal called back, and I was already celebrating, so I couldn't look like an idiot without scoring. So yeah, it's definitely.
Oh no, it was class, man.
Yeah.
Preston Judd equals Robin Van Persie right there, man. It was beautiful.
And I was there. I think Preston, you came over to Lars after. I think I was sitting in that section. I think that was the game that you came over. So yeah, that's a memorable one for me for sure. One of the most memorable last year was that flying header, man. Amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Do you have a favorite Galaxy teammate? Just somebody that's Steer Boy you still talk to all the time.
Yeah, it'd be Klinsmann. That was my boy.
Hey.
Yeah,
right
we live
on.
really close. We live really close next to each other, so we were always hanging out off the field, golfing. He's a really good guy, probably the nicest guy I've ever met, to be honest. Um, so I miss him. I know he's doing well in Italy now. So
Shout out JK.
Shout out
Once a
JK.
G, always a G. Well, your first trip back to Los Angeles as an opponent here will be on April 21st. And so I got to ask, you're coming back just for the day, but life sometimes is funny this way. So would you ever wear an LA Galaxy shirt again in the future?
never say never, right? I think I'd
Right.
be if I'm welcome. If I'm welcomed back, I'd be like, of course, anywhere I go, I'm willing to die for that team, to die for that jersey. But of course, Galaxy's always gonna have a special place in my heart. It's my childhood club, so maybe one day I can make it back there.
Well, we would love it if you did. I'm gonna ask you about your dog now, if that's all right.
Yeah, for sure.
I love dogs myself, and you know, everybody knows about Kobe Cosmo, who's my dog. I understand your dog's name is Rooney, and you named him Rooney because Wayne Rooney is an inspiration for you. Is he your favorite player of all time?
Yeah, so his name's Waza because that was Rooney's nickname. Was Waza.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay, so I got my info a little bit crossed right there.
Yeah.
So shout out to Waza. Please give him really good loves and scratches for me. So who is your favorite player of all time?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite player of all time is Wayne Rooney. Growing up, I'm a big Manchester United fan.
There we go.
There you go, Rob.
Growing up, it's always, I mean, just the fire he plays with is just unmatchable. And when he gets into that zone, it's like, dude, I wouldn't want to be across the line from that guy. I mean, he's crazy. So I think just watching him play with all the passion he has and how talented he really was, all the goals he scored, that's somebody I'd really like to be and someone I looked up to.
Did you get a chance to meet him at all while he was playing or coaching in MLS?
Yes, we had a preseason game last year that we played against him, and I scored. And I went after and asked for his autograph on my jersey, so I have that still.
Oh, that's awesome. I think I'd probably faint if I met Waza. I almost met Sir Alex one time, and then his security pushed me back like several miles because he was big and strong. But yes, I'm a huge Manchester United fan too. Right on, Preston. You know what? Glory, Man United. This guy Ananda is a gunner, so you know we'll put up with him for today, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, exactly. See what I have to put up with. So we know Manchester United's your European team. You know, now it's time for the eternal debate. I think you know where I'm going with this one: Messi or Ronaldo.
So I mean, people always ask me this. I mean, now it's Messi. After he won the World Cup, it's Messi. It's just he's done stuff that Ronaldo hasn't. But at the same time, I respect both of them. I love Ronaldo. I love the way he played. He's such a different player than Messi. I think we respect both of them. I think they're both GOATs in their own way. They're two different players. I think debates like that are stupid. I mean, if they're playing in front of us, we just got to enjoy watching them while we can.
Right. I mean, well, I was gonna follow that one up with, you know, now that Messi's in MLS, have you gotten some kind of a different appreciation for him, or you know, have you noticed other things about him that you hadn't previously noticed?
I wouldn't say nothing in specific. Of course, it's fun to watch him play against my old teammates and seeing that picture with Edwin was crazy. Him squaring up with Messi. And I respect that so much because that's like people ask me, what would you do if you played Messi? I said, I'm gonna crack him. Like I wouldn't care if he's on the field with me. It's like it's your enemy. Like you're not gonna if you're in war and you're right across the war and you both have guns staring at each other, you're not gonna not shoot him because out of respect. Like it's just war. And I respect Edwin for that. I think it was really cool to see that happen with Messi and. Maybe hopefully one day I get to play against Messi. I didn't get to this year, so we'll see.
Well, you know, I will personally, I think it'll be one of the only times that I will be able to say this, but my full support will be behind the Earthquakes when that happens, when you guys take on Inter Miami. There's just a little bit of a chip on our shoulder now, you know, as people that, you know, represent the Galaxy and love the Galaxy, about this previous result. So you know what? When it
Yeah,
happens,
no, for sure.
go off for a hattie, please. So I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions, because you know what, you are now in the Bay, but you were in Los Angeles for a little while. So here we go. Bay Area versus LA sports teams, Lakers or Warriors?
This is gonna be an easy one for me. I'm Lakers all day. Lakers, Dodgers,
Awesome.
Rams. I'm all LA teams.
Oh, just skip the section then, Rob. Just skip the section. You got the answers, man. Like,
yeah, no,
Rams,
absolutely.
Kings.
Well, he didn't give me Kings or Sharks though. So
not Kings. I'm a Golden Knights fan. I don't like either one of them.
Well, you are a Las Vegas boy, so that does make sense.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. Well, you know what? And feel free to skip this one if it's too charged, but maybe you can answer. But I had to ask, Chris Wondolowski or Landon Donovan?
Hey, Landon Donovan's an Earthquakes player too. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
He got you there, Robert. He got you there.
he did get me. He did get me. Well, you know what? Let's just have an appreciation for both fine players. We did have a question from one of our listeners, and a huge Preston Judd fan. I think you've even interacted with him on X. He goes by Boat, and I think you signed one of his cards, and he wanted to ask you if you had any personal goals for the season.
Yeah, shout out Bo. That's my boy. I try to talk to him
shout out.
Fan. Yeah, I mean he's not a fan. He's a friend. He's done a lot for me, and I try to do as much as I can for him. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Hopefully in LA. I think he might be coming up to San Jose for the game. But if not, my personal goals for this year. I think one of my personal goals is to score goals, of course.
Right.
Trying to get into that 7 to 10 range, hopefully more. I know I have it in me to do that. Team goal is we're trying to get a home playoff game. That would be nice, to have a playoff game at home. I think this is a big year for me to really break through. I mean, I know after playing a full season almost last year, I know I have the talent. I know I can play with these guys. I know I can score goals in this league. So I think this is the year I just really just put my head down and really push through and break through this year.
Yeah, well, I really think that it's going to happen for you. Like you said, you have the talent. We saw it, and Galaxy fans would probably say the same thing. Ananda, do you have any other questions for Preston before we get on out of here and we let him get on out of here?
Yeah, well, I mean, just to build on that point there real quick. Yeah, Preston, I saw it last year as well. I hope you get the consistent minutes, man. I think that's all that you're missing right now is just consistent minutes, because I know how it is as a striker. You're being asked to get in the game for like the last 10, 20 minutes, and you only have that amount of time to impact the game. So I'm hoping that you get in the rotation and you get those consistent minutes, man. So good luck on that for sure. But just one last thing. Obviously, we've got a few people in the chat. I know they're showing you some love. We've got Bode in the chat as well. I mean, do you have a message or something you'd like to say to the LA Galaxy fans?
Yeah, I appreciate the Jagalos. I think it was always a fun thing for me, and I mean, I've never expected anything like that from Galaxy fans. So I appreciate everybody there. I'll miss the Jagalos. Hopefully, you guys stick with me throughout my journey. I know I always show my love for you guys. I try to message you guys all back if you reach out to me. You take your time to support me. I'll do my best to support you guys. That's just how it works. Treat other people how you want to be treated. So shout out to Boat. He was a huge part of my year last year. He's always looking out for me. A couple other guys out there too. But yeah, again, I mean, it's a year I'll never forget. Galaxy fans have been great to me, and you're not gonna like this, but hopefully I can score some goals for you guys this year.
You know what? It is what it is. It's like you said, like your job is to score goals, right? So I mean, you got to perform, right? And unfortunately, we've seen, well, not unfortunately, like back in the day, it was fortunately we've seen you perform and go off and have that talent and be dangerous. Now the only thing I'm scared about it, like I said, is that 94th minute winner on the Galaxy, and having to get back home, 7 hours just stewing in that, like, why, Preston, why, right? But yeah, man, thank you so much for your time. I mean, you've been great. I told Ananda before we jumped on, Preston was all super nice to us in the pressers last year, and you've proven me right. And so thank you so much for being on the show. Good luck this weekend. And
not too much though. Not too much.
you know what? Let's let it be what it is. Let's let it be how it's gonna be.
Once a G, always a G, man. Once a G,
yeah, exactly. Thank you thank you for all the good memories out here in LA. And yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. Good luck to you guys and good luck to Galaxy. Not this weekend though.
All right.
Well, we'll see what's up. All right.
Thanks, Preston.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All righty, guys. Well, you guys saw him. You guys know him and love him. Like I said, Preston Judd. Like I mentioned just a moment ago, he was one of the nicest people that we got to interact with and cover there in the press box and in the locker room. So Ananda, you saw that man, Manchester United fan. What you think about that?
Yeah, I saw that. But you know what? Boat had my back. Boat had my back in the chat. So there you
go. But you know what? Preston had my back, and you know what? I'm gonna go with Preston because he can score those banger goals. So Boat, no disrespect, but I haven't seen how you ball yet. So and I've seen Preston ball yet. Galaxy Maniac says, "Don't ruin my trip up there." Yes, Preston, please don't ruin our trip up there. You know what? If it has to happen, it has to happen. But you know what? Please, that's all I can say is please. Anyway, now we're going to bring you our official match preview here. Ananda, man, you know how I am. You know how like when someone gets off, I'm just like to bask in like, wow, like we spoke to Preston.
That was fun.
That was super awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, no, for real. And you know what? Like it's what I loved, man, is that like what he said about Boat. Boat's not my fan, Boat's my friend. And
yeah,
so
that's
that humility, man. It's just no, for real. So you know what? Your mom raised you right, Preston. Good job. And we were really happy to have you. Shout outs, like I said, to San Jose Comms and Ryan McInerney for going ahead and facilitating that. We do appreciate it. And so, guys, you heard it from Preston. If he scores, he doesn't know if he's going to celebrate, but he's going to go all out. He's going to war because that's his job. And so don't hate. Just appreciate the spectacle if it happens. But you know what? We're going to bring you that match preview now. After one match day, a 1-1 tie against Miami and Messi and the ref. The Galaxy is tied with 3 other teams on points with 1, and they're in 8th place. The tie moved the Galaxy into 11th place on MLS's power rankings, all the way from 18th. And now the LA Galaxy will travel to San Jose for the 99th edition of the Cali Clasico across all competitions on Saturday, March 2nd at 7:30 p.m. The Galaxy are looking for a win. They need one bad. They haven't won since September 20th, 2023, a 4-3 home win against Minnesota. The Cali Clasico series, LA is leading the all-time 46, 33, and 19. LA holds a 37, 28, and 17 record in league play. And 43 games all-time regular season played on the road against the Earthquakes. The Galaxy hold a 14, 18, and 11 record. And the best part about everything that I'm saying here is that Galaxy is unbeaten in their last 4 matches against San Jose, dating back to June 26, 2021. So we're trending in the right direction, Ananda. Last year, the Galaxy did not lose against San Jose in 3 meetings. They were 2-0-1. They had 7 goals for, 5 against. I remember going up to that game in San Jose at PayPal, not the one at Stanford, and Galaxy fans were in fine fettle. The Galaxy fans played probably one of the best games of the season that day. And that man that we need to start going off, Dejan Joveljic, usually does against San Jose. He scores goals against them. He has 3 starts against them, and he scored 4 goals. And you know what? Long may it continue for him to score goals. I mean, he needs that confidence. San Jose, meanwhile, they also coughed up an injury time goal in Ananda, but they were tied at the moment, so they ended up losing. They ended up losing to Dallas 2-1 on the road. Like Preston said, they were on the road last year with the Galaxy in their first game. Same thing with San Jose. They were on the road against Dallas. They lost 2-1 in injury time. That was the 94th minute goal by Dante Seeley to break San Jose hearts. That result leaves them in 12th place. They jumped out to a lead. They couldn't hold it, and they surrendered points from a winning position, just like the Galaxy did. So they as well have not won since September. That was a 2-1 win at home versus RSL. They only have a couple of injuries long term. James Marcinowski and Nico Sakiris, and you know what? They're close to full strength, and they do have some weapons. You of course know some of them: Cristian Espinosa, Carlos Grueso, Jeremy Obibise, and of course new signing Preston Judd. And Amal Pellegrino. Pellegrino in particular is especially dangerous, man. I mean, he scored for fun when he was in Norway. He's the former Bodo Glimt winger. He scored 76 times in 119 games for his former team, and before that, for his previous team in Norway, he scored 33 times in 39 games. For me, he's going to be the X factor in this one for sure. But I know that you're the stats man, so. You gotta bring it to me, man. What do we got? What do we got for this one?
Yeah, I'm the stats man, but you know what, Robert? when I think about the stats, it's always too early for the stats, right? Because we're only one game in. The sample size is really small. All those predictive stats are based off of goals given away and goals scored for home and away and stuff. So it's a little too early for stats. The only thing that I will pull up is the SofaScore betting odds. So look this up just this morning. So San Jose is at a plus 100, so that means a 39% chance of winning, and LA currently is at a plus 230. That's a 24% chance of winning. So, for folks like Pinchy, who's out in Vegas, there's your odds there. Good
Pinchy,
sir. So
put 100 on black for me.
Exactly. So yeah, that's really the only stat that I'll give you. Again, we've only played one game this season, Robert. It's super early. We're still trying to figure out, who's what and who's who and who are the real players in the West. San Jose is a really interesting team for me because they've always been like a playoff team, and they always have quality, right? But it's interesting to me coming into this year because I've heard some chatter early on in the season or early on in the preseason that there was a little trepidation there from Quakes fans, but I think they will be a playoff team this year. They've got too much quality on that team, especially with Espinosa, man.
Well, they were a playoff team last year. Espinosa did go off last year. I mean, he was in the conversation for MVP, and it's not for not. I mean, he was pretty much the guy for his team. Of course, you have Jackson Ewell as well, who's a fine player in the midfield. So the midfield battle is going to be interesting here in this one. Do you think that Greg is going to try out the same starting 11?
I think so. I'm trying to think who. I mean, Gaston's going to be the interesting one, right? And so actually, I'll answer it this way. It depends, because if Mark's card does not get rescinded, Gaston's forced to play in that midfield, right, with Edwin. If his red card gets rescinded, then Greg has a choice, but I think he's going to keep the 11, man. But I think we're going to see, if he does keep the 11 with Cerrillo, that means Gaston's going to come in sometime in the second half, probably for Mark again, just for the extra legs, because Cerrillo's got a little bit of a motor on him at this point in his career.
That's an interesting take, man. I was thinking about this earlier today. Will Gaston start and maybe give us a good 60, or will Greg bring him on in the second half? With this game, with the intensity, I think Gaston goes. But not in place of Cerrillo. I think he goes in place of Mark, especially because we don't know if Mark's going to be available. I mean, we don't know if he's going to.
That's the thing. Yep.
Yeah, we don't know if he's going to beat those charges, right? So, he's. I think Greg's going to go with that Cerrillo, Gaston, and Ricky midfield, and we'll finally get to see if Gaston has the influence we think he'll have playing further up the field.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Well, Andrew H, just backing us up with what we said, with what Busquets said today. I really hope it does get rescinded. Man, I think so too.
It's ridiculous, right?
I mean, all the evidence is right there, right? So, Galaxy Maniac said to your betting odds, 24% chance of winning, more like 80% if we play how we did Sunday. I would tend to agree. I think they're going to put away some of those chances.
Well, so it's going to be interesting to see what 2024 version of the LA Galaxy we see on the road, right? Because remember last year, that was not a good look on the road. And that was a huge problem really the last couple of years. So I think what'll be interesting with this team is how do we deal with not only being first time being on the road, but a Cali Clasico to boot, right? It's a huge game. It's very big, and especially the team knows how big it is for the fans, and I think it's going to be interesting. One thing that's going to be interesting too, Robert. Obviously, we know Christian Espinoza on that right hand side, so Julian has his work cut out for him on that side. He's got to be very disciplined, but the fact that they do like to whip balls into Ebobisse, against this San Jose Earthquake team, I think I do like the partnership of Cáceres and Yoshida because they are very dominant in the air. So if you're going to spam crosses in there, I think you couldn't have handpicked a better set of veteran center backs to sort of clear the danger and get those headers out. So I think that's going to be something interesting to look at, just making sure that we clean up, shout out Mighty Ducks, but, picking up the trash, right, around that penalty yard box and around that 16-yard area.
Ducks 3. I see you.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a key battle for me. Not only Julian trying to keep Espinoza at bay, but just sensing out danger and getting those crosses out of there.
Well, we do have a question in the chat from Andrew_H. Pec super sub again or start? I'm gonna let you handle this one first.
Oh, that's interesting. So I heard Profe Alex, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but shout out Profe and Josh talk about this the other day. And I tend to agree with them. And I believe their take was what a great weapon to have in Gabriel Pec to run at defenses in the last 25, 30 minutes of the game when they're tired. Right. I mean, that's the perfect time to sort of, especially if it's a deadlock or if you're trying to break away and you're trying to get that 2-goal lead towards the end of the game. Amazing weapon to have. I think Fagundes will sort of run at the defense for the first 60, will sort of cause them chaos and tire them out. Perfect time for Pec to step stage right and get in the action, right? So I think he is. I think he should be a super sub for now. I think eventually though it will be a front three. We'll see that. What is it called? Like Pec cubed or Pec whatever. Pec to the third, whatever. Or P. Sorry,
the triple P.
Yeah, the triple P, like P cube, whatever you want to call it. I think eventually towards the end of the season that will be the starting 11. But for now, man, what a great weapon to have off the bench, right? Something we didn't say all of last year.
I'm gonna bring it back to what I said about Gaston. This is a Cali Clasico, a home opener Cali Clasico. It's gonna be intense. You're gonna want to try to put this one to bed early. Paint Cell started with 3 days there in training. Now they have the benefit of having a week in 3 days, and now Gabriel Pec has a week under his belt as well. I don't see why you don't start these two cats, and we saw against Miami, the Galaxy looked really, really dominant and really good in the first 30 minutes. They didn't put their chances away. I think Pec comes in, creates even more havoc, more chances. They're going to have the chances to go ahead and go up 2-3-0 within, hopefully, those first 30 minutes again. And if that happens, then at that point, it just becomes seeing the game out, which, historically haven't been good at. But you know what? I think you try to get an early jump and try to put this one to bed early. That's what I would do personally.
Interesting. Yeah, I small sample size too, but we have to test the keeper. Danielle did not do a good job on that second goal that they let in. He probably should have stopped that. And that was towards the end of the game. And if you look at the highlights of that game, man, there's a lot of FC Dallas highlights, probably from the 80th minute onwards, and they were peppering that San Jose goal. So again, I'm just using this to kind of support my argument around Pec, but I think the larger point is we've got to push the pedal to the metal those last 20 minutes, because I think San Jose is there to be got at, especially testing the keeper Danielle.
Well, let us know what you guys think in the chat. Let us know if you think Pec should start. Let us know if you think he should be a super sub. Thank you to Andrew for the good question. I when I take Kobe out for these walks at night, these are the things that I ponder. What is Greg gonna line up like on Saturday in the Cali Clasico? And yeah, I was pondering it. And like I said, if it were me, I'd go with the front three of Pec, Painso, and Jovic. Myself, but I see your point, and I understand why you would do what you would do. Now let's see who's right. Let's see what Greg actually does. Is he going to go with Gaston from the start? Is he going to go with Pec from the start? I think how he responds and how if he gets that right, I think that's going to go a long way towards dictating if the Galaxy win this game or not.
And this is where Greg makes the money, right? This is where he makes his bread. I mean, I'm glad I'm not in the hot seat, and that's why he gets paid millions of dollars. And again, this is a good problem to have, and we'll see what Greg Vanney has up its sleeve, and we'll react to after the game if he got it right or not.
Well, quit messing around. Give us your prediction for this one.
Okay, so
no speaking out of both sides of your mouth.
No head and heart pick today. No head and heart pick.
There we go.
None of that. No sitting on the fence. So as you know, Robert, Cali Clasicos, especially in the last 3 or 4, have been high scoring games, right? So I'm going to predict another high scoring game. Unfortunately, I think as good as our defense has been, I think we will let in maybe 1 or 2 goals, but I am predicting a Galaxy win. So, man, I'm feeling confident, man, just based off that last performance. And I know we're on the road. It's Cali Clasico, but I'm going 3-1 Galaxy. I think we're going to put 3 past them. I was going to go for a 3-2, but I think our defense, I'm seeing good signs, and with Cerrillo protecting that back 4, I think we'll only let in a goal again because we're away from home, and they're going to be up for it, man. It's their home opener.
Yeah, I mean, again, this crowd is going to be nuts, and it's a Cali Clasico. Well, shout out Andrew. Yeah. Oh,
no. I was going to say Peachy agreed with me. Yeah, but shout out Andrew.
Yeah, shout out Andrew, who says, Vamos LA Galaxy, vamos La Cuna Matata. Yes, La Cuna Matata will be back in action later tonight, looking to pick up some points in Liga G and get themselves into the playoff conversation. If you're following along with Liga G, we are still in last place, but we're getting better.
So Rob, can we peer pressure into 3-1? Look at this, man. Pinche agrees with me. Galaxy Maniac agrees with me. Andrew H agree with me. I mean, come on. Can we peer pressure you into this? Groupthink?
No, you can't. You know why?
Because you're gonna go 4-1.
No, I'm actually calling a 2-0 Galaxy win. You know what, they've been focusing a lot on the defense, and I think this shutout, should they get it, it would be a statement. They only gave up the 1 goal to Messi. It was a momentary lapse. Messi made them pay. If they can stay as plugged in, as focused as they did against Inter Miami, then yeah, they'll get that shutout. Greg said that was his main objective, to cut the goals in half, right? So historically, there's a bunch of goals in this game, and so they got to break that mold. They got to go to these places and go to these away games that are going to be intense and tough, and go ahead and get shutouts and put in good defensive performances. So I think they're going to do it. I think they're riding that high of like, look, bro, we stood up to high powered Inter Miami and we stopped them, right? So I think they're going to go out there putting in another good defensive shift, and they're going to get the goals. People said, who's getting the goals? Comments 96 said who's getting goals. Andrew said who's getting goals. For me, I think Dayon's getting another one, and I think Paintcell's getting his first.
Yeah, I was gonna agree. I think Fagundes is actually gonna get on the score sheet, so I called 3. Dayon's gonna get 1, and one of the wingers, whether that's Paintcell or Pec. And I think Ricky Puig is gonna have a brace of assists. I think he's gonna really influence this game heavy, man. Because I think that's going to be the weakness of the San Jose Earthquakes. I think just on that wing, hitting them on the break, we're just going to have too much pace and power, I think, on those wings. Again, just based off of like the what I saw against FC Dallas. So, but hey, Andrew's feeling confident. He's counting 4-2 Galaxy. So shout out Andrew. And I agree with Galaxy Maniac on this one, and I'm only giving him 1 for Preston. So there you go.
Yeah, I forgot in my shutout that means that Preston doesn't score, but yeah, I'm sticking with it. 2-0.
We're going to war. We're going to war.
We're going to war.
You're
it is what it is. Yeah, no, we're going to war. I mean, I love Preston, but we're going to war. And that's all it is. I mean, like Galaxy need the 3 points. They need that win. They haven't won since September of last year. Comments 96. Big Matt says, big Paint. Yes, sir. Paint says,
JP.
I feel like he's going to get that goal. I mean, he was super close. He was involved in everything. I think it's just a matter of time. And I think it's what a way to become a Galaxy hero by scoring in front of the great old rival, which is San Jose. I think that's an immediate, like, hey, he's on his way to being on that Galaxy Mount Rushmore. But we have our predictions. They're recorded in history for posterity now. Like, we can't go back on them. I'm calling that 2-0. Ananda's calling that 3-1. Both Galaxy wins. Now we're gonna look foolish if the Galaxy end up losing, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Ananda, anything to add before we get on out of here? I know Kobe has a bunch of stuff to add.
Shout out Cody Cosmo. No, man, Cody just again, really privileged and honored to have Preston on. I think it was great for him to, I know I saw you guys showing him some love, and he seems like such a great guy. So yeah, just great to talk with him. Glad he's doing well in San Jose. Hopefully he doesn't do well against us, but that's another story. And yeah, hopefully you're right, Robert. We need to get another 3 points because we've got some tough games coming up. If you look at the schedule, we've got Seattle coming up, St. Louis, Nashville. Not an easy game as well. Nashville, I mean, we've got some tough games, man, in the next like 4 or 5 game stretch. So I think this one, if you look at it on the calendar, this is one that we need the 3 points at because the other games will be a little tougher. And yeah, let's go up there. And I know you're going up there, so have an amazing trip up there as well. All of you guys that are going up there, be safe, have fun, just scream your hearts out. And yeah, man, hoping to look forward to the first Galaxy win. That'll be 4 points in 2 games. Amazing, because we didn't get our 4th point till like 11 games in last season. So
yeah. Oh man, well, the bleak old cold winter of yesteryear. Well, guys, you're gonna have to help me into bullying Ananda into going to the next Cali Clasico, which will of course be the Stanford game. There's a lot of good times to be had at that game, especially if you take the bus. I mean, Manny told us a great story about the bus, right, and what's going on there. So you know what? If you aren't there this time, go ahead and find out some info about the Stanford game. But if you are there, come find me, guys. I'd love to meet you, and love to give you some tchotchke. Just connect up there. I know there's going to be a good contingent going up there, and I know that there's going to be a meetup beforehand. So go ahead and reach out to somebody in a supporter group if you want to know where that meetup is. And of course, we'll have a La Cunita live match reaction this Sunday at 7, where we break down all the action from this match. Win or lose, we're going to tell you what happened from the 99th Cali Clasico. Make sure and subscribe at youtube.com at La Cuna Galaxiana to stay up on all the shows, and follow us across all the socials at La Cuna Galaxiana. Of course, if you subscribe, you'll know when these shows are dropping. You'll know when we have folks like Preston Judd on. Thank you so much, Preston. Thank you so much to San Jose Comms for making it happen. And you know what? When we bring on somebody like Fernando or Preston, you'll be up on it. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us one more time, and we'll catch you next time, LA Galaxy fans and La Cuna Galaxians. One thing left to say. G's up.